Diddy forced me to make a sacrifice when I went to his birthday party. Since then, I stopped meeting Diddy. Diddy, Jay-Z, and Tyler Perry are all in this together, and they are the worst people.
Jakes used to come to my parties. TD Jakes also gave me young boys from church for sacrifice.
Sean Diddy Combs' and racketeering trial is dominating headlines right now.
Developing story that we're following now, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the leader of Dallas megachurch, the Potter's House, announced today that he will be stepping down.
How you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes?
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication.
Now, we also know that T.D. Jakes is allegedly also a power bottom, and he's a much older man. And they say he's very enthusiastic in his endeavors. What happens when he pops something loose? You know what I'm
saying? It's funny because they're mentioning workers, but they're not mentioning women. They're mentioning men as workers.
Yeah.
Like is that a thing where there's a website of what? It's just wild to hear mention.
You've never heard of Grindr?
Okay, listen up, because this is not your average celebrity courtroom mess. This is full-blown chaos. Bishop T.D. Jakes, yes, the same man who preaches to millions every Sunday, is now smack in the middle of Diddy's bombshell trial, and no one saw this coming. Like, seriously, how does a man of the cloth, known for fiery sermons and spiritual advice, get tangled up in a twisted saga of alleged beatings, threats, dark parties, and secret alliances? Well, buckle up, because things have taken a wild turn. Courtroom insiders say the vibe has shifted from scandal to straight-up terrifying. Testimonies are coming in that sound like they were ripped straight from a Hollywood thriller. One woman described being dragged out of her apartment and shoved into a car. Where was she going? To Kid Cudi's house, apparently to murder him because he was seeing Diddy's ex, Cassie. Yes, that's what was said. You can't make this up. Another witness claimed she was literally forced to take lie detector tests every time some jewelry went missing. And get this, she was allegedly threatened with being tossed into the East River if she failed. Mafia vibes, 100%. This is no longer just a case, it's a nightmare unfolding in real time.
There, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
Why would we need a 50-foot bed?
I mean, T.D. Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Khaled, we talk about heavy hitters.
She testified she was held against her will twice. At one point alleging she was forced from her apartment and into a car to take Combs and one of his bodyguards to the home of rapper Kid Cudi to, quote, kill him. Cudi was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura, at the time. Clark also claimed Combs threatened to kill Ventura if she didn't convince Kid Cudi not to tell police that Combs was allegedly involved with a break-in at his house. Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
In 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Yes, she was attacked by Sean and kicked. Did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. The government then shows Don Richard a picture of Diddy Dirty Money. When were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, "Where the F is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She was in a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body and then dragged her up to the first floor. Glass was breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene? No. Did you call the police? No. The next day, what happened? He said it had been passionate and she was okay, and that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. How did you understand that? Death. Diddy's team then yells objection. Then the judge calls a sidebar and ends her testimony for the day. But Dawn Richard will be back on Monday to give the rest of her full testimony against Diddy. But right before they brought Dawn Richard in, they actually had a Homeland Security agent testify against Diddy about when they came and arrested him to take him to jail. So let's go ahead and get into that. The government asked, when Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt Hotel, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a picture to the jury of his hotel suite, and what did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items and then signed them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles.
I have all the proof of Diddy's gay parties. When I tried to leak the proof, Diddy threatened to kill me. I also have videos of Diddy performing sacrifices.
And just when we thought things couldn't get any crazier, TD Jakes stood up and dropped names. Big ones, influential ones. We're talking top-tier elites from entertainment, business, and even religion. Not B-listers, not background players. These were powerhouses. He didn't just say, yeah, they attended. Nope. He said they actively participated in whatever darkness was going on behind those closed doors. And in that moment, the entire courtroom froze. Like Jaws on the floor kind of frozen. Let's not forget, TD Jakes isn't just some preacher from your local church. This man has counseled U.S. presidents. He's got the ear of billionaires and global icons. So when he says, these are the people involved, the panic spreads like wildfire. Immediately after his testimony, the PR machines kicked into overdrive. Press releases, frantic denials, Instagram statements, everyone was suddenly playing victim, acting like they'd been mistakenly pulled into the mess. But you could feel it, the fear, the desperation. These people were spiraling.
Jaguar, he's not just involved, he's been playing power games with Diddy for years.
We got Jaguar right at the case. They said you're supposed to be in it.
So I'm up in this
here. Wow, they done brought everybody. How are you?
the Jaguar Race Show. Here we are.
Okay, oh, you got just some security too? Oh wow, Jaguar came with security too.
Pleasure to meet you. You know, just first and foremost, I mean, this is, you know, the day of this trial. Again, the trial Diddy Combs. You know, what are you feeling? What are you experiencing right now? How important is it for you to be here?
Paramount. There needs to be someone here who's been here all along. I've been waiting for this moment for 5 years, and here we are. And I'm praying that everyone remembers there are survivors, real life survivors. And I hope that everyone takes into account how necessary a true verdict, a just verdict now. 25 years of pain, 25 years of hurt. And I'm praying that God's just gonna do what he told me he's gonna do. So I hope we're all just saying in vigilant prayer for everyone on all sides of this. These are human issues, and we need to have real human response and emotion.
Do you plan to be here every day? I mean, during this trial, we're expected to hear.
I'm going to be around.
Have you spoken with anyone who might be possibly testifying, or have you spoken to anybody?
That I cannot say, but what I will say is my prayers for Al B. Shore are being answered day by day. From the moment that we found out he flatlined to the moment we found out he came back. I'm here vigilant for that. Justice for Kim Porter. Support the case.
Helping story that we're following now, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the leader of Dallas megachurch, the Potter's House, announced today that he will be stepping down. Jakes is a world-renowned pastor. Remember, he suffered a heart attack in front of his congregation last November. Well, this morning, Jakes said that his daughter and son-in-law will now take the lead. Fox 4 Stephen Dial is in studio tonight with more. Stephen, welcome.
This was a shock to many in the religious community. Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
This is video from the service Jakes is referencing in November. It wasn't until months after his medical incident that he confirmed to the public he had a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he told his congregation he had been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Torrey Roberts, to take the lead.
I talked to the board because I was concerned. I have seen too many men build something and stay so long that they kill what they build.
His daughter and son-in-law moved to Dallas during the pandemic and have increased their roles in the church operations over the years.
And I know you guys are so tired. You had a heart attack on stage and still asked for the microphone so that they would be okay over you. I know what this cost.
We will see fruit unlike anything we have ever seen before, so thank you.
In nearly 30 years at the helm, Jakes has presided over services that reached tens of thousands in person and online. He served as an advisor to multiple presidents and was a featured speaker at the inauguration of President Barack Obama. The church's ministry launched wide-ranging programs that span the globe, from health and financial initiatives for underserved communities to offender reentry assistance. Jakes told his members they will still see him, but it was time to take a step back.
There's some ways that I want to prepare us for the days ahead that I can't do it completely from the pulpit. Every now and then I think they'll let me preach, but there's some work in the vineyard that needs to be done.
New pastors will not immediately take over. There will be a transition period. Jakes will keep his role as chair of the T.D. Jakes Group and Foundation. Casey.
All right, well, Stephen Dial live for us tonight. Stephen, thanks for being here.
Why do you think T.D. Jakes was at Puff Daddy's birthday party?
You know, do you remember when Bernie Mac played the minister in Friday?
Yes.
That's how I feel about T.D. Jakes. Like, that's how I see. Oh, Miss Parker, come to pray. But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for 100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on your bishop, and he said, and then the said, it's on the internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out, birth that baby, push the, I'm like, are we at church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like, this is looking a little weird. I mean, if Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons. Money or That's all that happens at Diddy parties. Money
as
I just
I hope it was for money.
charitable contribution.
I hope it was for money, because arguing about who's going to put the strap on is, that can be a very uncomfortable situation. You know, we're going to pray on it, praise the Lord.
What the hell y'all talking about on this internet today? TD Jakes being exposed as a power bottom by Diddy's male escorts. What the hell is a damn power bottom? Power bottom, term for a gay man in the receiving role during gay who is aggressive and... Oh, no. Oh, so y'all trying to tell me TD Jakes is gay? Man, I don't know about this one, man. This one kind of hard to believe, man. Y'all gonna have to give me more proof. Okay, that's enough. If this is true, do y'all know how insane that is? I always wondered what the TD and TD Jakes stood for, but I would have never thought it stood for take. TD Jakes, I know you said no weapon formed against you shall prosper, but evidently there's one that got power over. I don't know what kind of drugs Diddy be serving at them parties, but they need to ban that cause, woo, y'all out here Shrek Daddy. Y'all are some nasty you hear me? As a pastor, why the hell would TD Jakes be at a P. Diddy party? And what the hell would he be doing to make it look like he belonging now?
Been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Now, I ain't saying you did nothing. The actions are mighty suspicious, Mr. Jakes. Sit your country ass down, man.
And outside the courtroom, oh, the internet was on fire. Hashtags exploded. TDJ Jakes, Diddy Empire, Dark Circle, and more were trending nonstop. Everyone was suddenly a digital detective, digging through old footage, analyzing grainy photos, and unearthing past interviews. Things got really wild when Robert Downey Jr.'s name was suddenly brought up during jury questioning. Wait, Iron Man? Yes, him. And that wasn't the only bombshell. Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, even Cassie and other random celebs were suddenly being named. But no one could piece together exactly why or how these people were all connected. And that's where the fear crept in again. Because this wasn't just random gossip anymore. Something was off. Something felt calculated, terrifying. But wait, let's address the elephant in the room. TD Jakes' own image wasn't squeaky clean before all this. People were already whispering, why was a respected Christian leader even remotely associated with someone like Diddy? Was he there to save souls, or was there a much darker reason? And now, with his explosive testimony, people are asking, did TD Jakes always know? Was he complicit? Was he silent for years and only speaking up now because the walls are caving in? What makes this entire mess even scarier is that it's not just about Diddy being reckless at parties. This is about control, deception, a whole underground network that, if what we're hearing is true, has been operating in the shadows for years. And when TD Jakes broke the silence and dropped that list, it didn't just blow the lid off this case. It created powerful enemies. And with everything spiraling so fast, the big question now is, how deep does this go? And who else is about to get exposed? This isn't a trial anymore, it's a cultural earthquake. And it's shaking more than just courtroom walls. The moment Jakes exposed those names, the dominoes started falling. Suddenly, people who had stayed silent for years were finally finding the courage to speak out. Former staff, ex-partygoers, even celebs who had once basked in Diddy's glow started hinting at the truth or straight up revealing it. These weren't vague statements anymore. These were real people in real rooms watching real horror unfold. And then came the voice that made everyone lean in. Dawn Richard, a former Danity Kane member and longtime Diddy protege. She took the stand. She didn't scream. She didn't cry, but her voice trembled, and every word landed like a punch to the gut. She said she watched Cassie get beaten over, wait for it, a late meal. That's it, a meal. The scene? Cassie curled up on the floor while a skillet flew across the room, screaming everywhere. Before the eggs could even hit the plate, there was yelling, glass shattering, kicking, and the next day, a warning. Speak out and you'll disappear. And as chilling as that was, her account wasn't an outlier. Woman after woman began echoing the same kind of abuse. Lie detector tests, being locked in rooms, being monitored, threatened, silenced. One described a man with a literal chain, smoking, while threatening to throw her into a river. And still, TD Jakes' name kept swirling in all of this. not as someone abused, not as someone used, but as a strategic tool, someone that Diddy allegedly kept around to give himself a polished, righteous public image. And then came the revelation that made jaws hit the ground, according to court docs filed by a former producer. Diddy was actively plotting to use T.D. Jakes' spiritual reputation as a cover to neutralize Cassie's original claims. Think about that. While women were allegedly being abused, Diddy was strategizing behind the scenes to parade around a preacher for PR damage control. And the worst part? It was actually working. Until Jakes turned on him. Because when T.D. Jakes flipped and gave up the names, it shattered everything. No more cover. No more Sunday sermons for the cameras. No more hiding in plain sight. And then the media dropped leaked hotel surveillance. It was grainy, it was silent, but the movements, the shadows behind doors, they spoke volumes. That leaked hotel footage, it didn't need sound. Just the flickering shadows, the sudden jerky movements behind those doors, the ominous pacing. It was enough to make viewers feel sick to their stomach. People online were piecing things together, frame by shadow, las him, las her, las the night, they said. And then came the real shocker. Reports started swirling that right after T.D. Jakes gave his explosive testimony, naming names, shattering alliances, Diddy snapped inside the courtroom. Eyewitnesses say Diddy lost it, like full-on meltdown. He didn't just shout, he didn't just cuss, he slapped Bishop T.D. Jakes. And then came the big domino. A former executive, someone close to both Diddy and T.D. Jakes, testified that the two had been working together a lot longer than anyone thought. And not just on charity events or fundraisers, this was about image building. Cover-ups, moral laundering, he called it. And the fallout? Just beginning. Now the courts are reviewing new motions, investigators are being pressured to expand the scope of the case, journalists are camping outside Diddy's properties, the Department of Justice is reportedly interested, and insiders say there are sealed documents that could blow things wide open. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team shattered. One lawyer reportedly quit hours after the courtroom slap. Another requested a delay in proceedings, citing emotional volatility. Rumors say Diddy's been placed under 24/7 surveillance by his own team. And T.D. Jakes? He's vanished, literally disappeared. No new sermons, no press statements, no live streams, just gone. Some say he's in hiding, others claim he's been silenced. A few think he's preparing to go public with even more names. But everyone agrees on one thing: this isn't over. If anything, this is only the beginning, because this trial, it's no longer about one man's sins. It's about an entire empire built on silence, control, manipulation, and fear. And now that empire is crumbling. So grab your popcorn, lock your doors, and stay very tuned. Because if T.D. Jakes really does speak again, the church, the elite, they might never recover.